And I'm live. All right, I'm going to wait on you to call in to the talk show. I'm live on YouTube, and we'll see you there, okay? All right, man. Be careful.
Yep.
All right, bye. All right. To my YouTube viewers, I'm sorry. I'm trying to throw this together pell-mell or pall-mall, however you want to say it. Good morning. I'm You Wished. Because we didn't have Veterans Talk Weekly Saturday night last night, kind of figured I'd throw this together at last moment. I'm going to be making a few phone calls and getting a few people together. I am hoping that I get stuff together and get people together and get things rolling this morning. There is Sin. Wow. Hello. Good morning, sir. I'm glad to meet you because you know what? We are live on YouTube so far. So yeah, we're good. Stand by. Let me call Strongheart. Let me call Strongheart real quick, and let me see if she can get Jessica. Let me see if she can get Jessica in on this because her cousin lost a few more members than we did from the Navy. Okay, we only lost one shipmate. We lost the corpsman, but the Army lost the bulk majority. So let's yeah. There was another attack last night. Did you not hear about that? Thankfully, 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 and yeah, thankfully, that attack didn't kill any of our service members. But let's take a look at the Biden's administration's record because goes back to Biden goes back to Obama. Biden goes back to Obama because the same tactics minus Obama's oversight, meaning that we did not give up any military weapons, vehicles, aircraft. Under Obama, we didn't give up any of that. Under Obama, we did not give up any of that. But under Biden, under Biden, I mean, let's face it. I mean, any American gun show would have been happy to take on the amount of weaponry we gave up, which are over 100 Hummers, Humvees, whatever you want to call them, with Modusas with enough ammo to start a small war. And when you're talking about well, wait a second. When you're talking about the Modus, you're talking about technology that came out from the 19 teens to the 1930s and has been complementary to U.S. Army vehicles for the last 85 years or more. You're talking about a weapon that was so far ahead of its time that is still used today. And that is the Browning M2 50 caliber, known as the Ma Deuce. There is a reason why it is known as the Ma Deuce. Like I said, stand by to stand by. Let me call Carolyn. Let me get Jessica in on this. Okay? Calling now. If she's up. If my wife's up, then great. No, maybe she shouldn't be because she probably had to work late last night and would explain why she's not up. Yeah, she's not up. Stand by to stand by because I got to call Jacob. Do what? No, she was probably. Well, she's been in and out of the game, and I can understand that my computer would be signing in and out because it was set up that way to not stay in the Blizzard app, and that's what she's been signing in and out of. So it may not be her. Stand by. Let me call one more person. Contacts Jake. Right there. Hmm. Now, my 18-year-old high school recently graduated son should be up. And no, he's not. Oh, boy, I'm having all sorts of luck this morning. Ugh. Yeah, I mean, she's stand by to stand by. Hang on. We have a miracle call. Good morning, son. Go wake your mother up. Yeah, that's Jacob. That's my oldest. My recently graduated son, who I am so proud of because he graduated high school. Call Jessica, send her my number, tell her to call me right the frack now. I'm live on YouTube and she needs to join this conversation because it's a conversation among veterans. And tell her she tell you know what? I'm betting she's probably drunk enough. She will be up. I'm just gonna put it out like that because I'm live with Yazin on U-ish channel. Okay. All right. Love you, babe. Talk to you later. Okay. And Yazin's sitting there saying, "You better tell that you better tell her I said hi." Yes, I said that Yazin said hi to you. Okay. Live on YouTube, by the way. All right. She said, "Hey, she said to tell you hi. Hey, be watching on YouTube, and I'll make you a mod on YouTube. Okay. All right. All right. Love you too. Bye. You better not go anywhere. You're live. You're live with me on YouTube. So shut up. You better not. Okay. I'm not worried about that. What I'm worried about is us getting this cleared out and getting beyond this because there's more to this that we need to touch up on than just the bombings in Kandahar. Okay, at Bagram Air Base or wherever it is. I think it's Mohammed Karzai Airport, which is where the actual bombings took place. Yeah. Okay. So there's more to there's more to that story than what people in the public understand, and we need to get that out. Okay. Understand that Joe Biden for the last 2 weeks has said that because Trump did this, meaning the pullout of Afghanistan, it forced his hand. No, it did not. We did not have to give up guns, M1A1s, M1A4s, M2A4s, M249s, Modusas, which we've already touched on, Hummers, Humvees. Oh, no, that's the M1A1s and the M1A4s. And the M4A1s with the grenade launchers, with the 40 millimeter grenade launchers underneath them. Oh, wait. Yeah, we don't understand as a civilian population. If you've never served, you do not understand the amount of firepower we left behind. I have seen that firepower. I understand that firepower. And I understand that as long as we allow people on military transports without credential, we've done that for 100,000 Afghanistan people before we pulled our own civilians out. I'm sorry, brother. This president doesn't need to just step the freak down. He needs to step the freak out. And I'm being nice because he needs to fucking go. Now, Kamala Harris is a problematic bitch as president because she would sign anything that her buddies in Congress and the Senate can get through and beyond the Republicans. But the problem is we have socialists right behind her chomping at the bit to take over and to turn America from a democracy to a socialistic republic. And that, my friends, is worse. Sorry, little brother. I'm gonna send you this link later. I'm sorry. I love you. I love you, Kevin. But socialism fails every time. You want a modern day, you want within the last 10 years of socialism failing? Look at Venezuela. It failed. They said the people would own their labor. No, they don't. The state owns their labor. Why? Because the state owns because the means. The state owns the means of production. That's it. No, it goes beyond that. Okay. It goes back to the state is God. The state is God. The state is mama. The state is daddy. You answer to the state before you answer to your parents. You answer to the state for everything that you do under socialism. That's it. That is that duh. Because the state is mama, the state is daddy. Now, dude, dude, did you live through the Red Scare? I don't think you did. I think you were born. Wait a second. Wait a second. Were you born before 1975? Were you sin? Were you born before 1975? Were you born before 1975? And wait, listen to my question. Listen to my question, Yazin. Okay, so you missed the Red Scare of '83. Okay, all right. Hi, hi, nephew. Okay, all right. Understand something. Do you know how close we were to all-out nuclear war in 1983? In no, in 1983. Do you know how close we were to all-out nuclear war? Mutually assured destruction. Everybody liquidated. How close were we? How close were we? No, no. It was only because they were answering that red line between Moscow and Washington. We did not end up liquidated. We did not interact. We did not end up an irradiated planet. Okay, no life, no nothing. It would have been just a desolate nuclear wasteland for 300 million years. Okay, that's what we were. That's yeah. I mean, and granted. Okay, all right. So you're of the Islam faith, correct? Yes or no? Okay, so you know a good deal more about Sharia law than I did. Okay, okay, okay. All right. So we have your we. Okay, all right. And you know I do not judge you for being Islamic, right? Okay, exactly. Okay, we're friends because we understand we have common ground together, correct? Okay. Where we disagree, and we agree to disagree and remain friends, right? Okay. All right. When you were playing Alliance and on World of Warcraft, and I was playing Horde on World of Warcraft, and you were trying to corpse camp my freaking rogue. That's when we were not friends. We were not friends then. Okay. You want to know what we were not friends? That was it. Okay. Now, have there been times? Okay, all right. Have there been times when I've jumped over to an alliance character and bailed you out with a ward that was corpse canceling your low level alliance? Have there been times that you've done the same for me? Yes, there have been. So you and I call each other brother. Okay, and you look at me, and I am as white as a sheet. Okay, I'm not quite the same shade. I'm not quite the same shade of white as my shirt, but I'm pretty damn close. I mean, face it. But you're a person of color. Okay. I'm not going to call you African American. I'm not going to degrade what you are. You are a person of color. You carry that moniker with pride, correct? Okay. All right. But when I call you a brother, I call you a brother out of friendship for what, 7, 9 years now? Something about that. Between 7 and 9 years. It's not quite 10 yet, I know. But you know what? We need to get together. You and I need to get together with our kids, and we need to freaking throw a huge ass barbecue, sans the pork. Okay, and I'm willing to do that. I'm I'm willing to throw on steaks and hamburger patties with no pork and say, you know what, if you want it truly kosher, or what's the Islamic word for kosher? Okay. Well, I mean, if you want it truly halal, you're gonna have to bring me the goat to cook. Don't expect me to eat it, but you're gonna have to bring me the cook. You're gonna have to bring me the goat to cook. Period. It's gonna have to be pre-butchered because I'm not gonna butcher a goat. I've eaten goat. I've eaten goat. It's good. Don't get me wrong. I've eaten goat. It's good, but it's not my first choice of meat. I need my T-bones. I need my clubs. I need my beef. I need my cattle. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Now here's the question. Here's the question. Okay. If somebody were to lay their hands on a black powder shotgun, I'm not going to go into your history, but I'm saying if somebody were to lay their hands on a black powder shotgun here recently in a 12 gauge, you think you can learn to use that? You're not understanding. You're not. Let me rephrase this. Okay, I'm not going into your personal history, but if but if somebody had access to a black powder shotgun and invited you to go dove hunting in the greatest state in the nation currently, with the greatest amount of doves available, would you come down and dove hunt with them? No, the margin of catastrophe is in user error. Okay, that's where the margin of catastrophe lies. But somebody with your history would be able to use a black powder double barrel shotgun. Yes or no? Okay. I have access to, I have access. Shut up. Shut up. Love you, man. But there's gonna be times when I tell you just be quiet. Now it's one of those times. I have I have currently in my possession a double barrel 12 gauge black powder shotgun that is legal for your possession and usage. And usage doesn't mean you get to take it back to Pennsylvania with you. Oh wait, damn it! I missed my opportunity to do this. Stand by one. No, um, when we talk about sin, there's one thing you need to remember about him. We're going to take a 3 minute and 46-second hiatus. Skip that. This is for you, brother. And closing all the factories down. You not hear the song? You'll hear it when you listen to the playback. Ask them to dance with them so. And we're living here in Allentown. But the closest is descended down. And it's pretty may understand. Hey, ooh. I'm living here in Allentown. And every town. Wall. Yeah, hang on. Yeah, what you got? Um, let's cover Biden's failures. I mean, shit. This is easy. This is easy because here's the thing. Okay, no, I had that song to play. That was it. That was what I'd missed out on. Oh yeah, Allentown, Billy Joel. Go back and listen to it. Well, we're living here in Allentown, cause you know what? Where are you from? Where are you living at now? But you're living in Allentown. Okay. And every time I think about you, and this will be true, even if I hit the lottery, manage to move you and all your kids down to Texas, where you desperately want to live, I hear that song. I will look upon your face one day and I will start singing. Well, we're living here in Allentown. I'm sorry, I got to do that to you, brother. I got to do that to you. Yeah, the one in 81 was bad, but the one in 83 was even worse because we were at DEF CON 2 when the phone started ringing. And what it was that we were at a nuclear exercise. We were in a nuclear exercise where there was a nuclear first strike. It was limited, but it was an upper atmosphere. It was an upper atmospheric strike. Okay, it was an NEMP, but it was designated to knock out all electrical power, all electrical telecommunications over the North American continent. Okay. No, it didn't have any real world effect. We were conducting the drill where it would have real world effect. What the US government did not contemplate was where the role of the amateur radio community came into play and the diplomacy that the amateur radio operators have. When it comes to real world diplomacy, it is the amateur radio community. The amateur radio community controls world diplomacy to an extent. Now, does it have direct impact on radical governments? No, it doesn't. But does it have an impact? Well, no, it's ran by no, because when you're talking about what I'm talking about, which is a radical government, the whole country is involved in it. Like what we're seeing now with Afghanistan, what we saw before with Afghanistan. Afghanistan never had a radio community. It never had an amateur radio community. it had mouthpieces, but it didn't have an amateur radio community. They had people that they paid to put on the air that would espouse their propaganda, much like Saudi Arabia has, much like others have. Whereas have you ever looked at the King of Jordan, a direct descendant of Muhammad, by the way? Yeah. No, I've talked to the man. He is a direct. I have talked. His lineage, Mighty, Yazid, Yazid. His lineage, yes, he is. He is a direct descendant. He is a direct male line descendant of the Prophet Muhammad. That is the King of Jordan. That is the King of Jordan. That is the King of Jordan. I've had 3 conversations, 3 confirmed contacts on HF with the man. I have conversed with him. No, he is a direct great grandson, great. God knows how many generations. I don't want to try to count, but he is a direct descendant of the loins of the dick of the Prophet Muhammad. Okay. That is the King of Jordan. I have talked to the man on the amateur radio. I have talked to him on 80 meters. I have talked to him on 160 meters. I have the QSO cards to confirm contacts with his father as well. The dude is awesome. The dude is awesome to talk to when we're not talking politics and when we're not talking religion. The man is extremely knowledgeable in amateur radio. He knows more about the American rules for amateur radio than most Americans do. The dude is a great guy. I already know you've been to the Statue of Liberty. Shut up. You ever you ever looked at it? You ever looked at it? Okay. I have a picture. I have a picture from 2000. I have a picture from 2000 of me on an airplane flying into JFK, and it's the only picture I treasure more than anything else because less than a year later, they were no more. They were no more. And it's the World Trade Center. It's the Twin Towers at the World Trade Center. World Trade Center number 1 and World Trade Center number 2. And that was the one picture. That was the one picture I wanted most was to get out of the airplane, was to get those towers with the cloud ceiling underneath them. Guess what I got? I got that picture. I got them towering above the cloud ceiling, which okay, let's say it's truly awesome. I managed to get in on that day and have that picture taken. There are okay, all right. Do you know that okay? Do you know the term silent key? And the reason why I ask you, do you know the term silent key? Okay. It refers to an amateur radio operator who has died. Okay. Do you know how many silent keys occurred on 9/11? 600. 600. 600 is the official count. There were three, one of whom was a personal friend of mine, was on the tower servicing the radio tower on the North Tower because there was an amateur radio repeater. There was an amateur radio repeater on that tower that needed servicing. There were three radio operators. There were three amateur radio operators who were free that day to go service the tower. They literally got front row seats. There is audio recording of these guys literally repeating a plane crashed into the South Tower. And when you hear it, when you hear break, break, which is the general terminology for an amateur radio operator to break into normal communication and declare an emergency, is about the same as a police tone, which is the da 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 da. And if you don't know what that is, go look at Donut Operator's last video because, yeah, Donut Operator covers that pretty close. You want to talk about a dick hardening adrenaline rush experience? That is it. When you hear break, break on the amateur radio, you know shit has just hit the fan. Get your asses ready. You're going into emergency mode. You're not a ham. You're not an amateur radio operator, are you? You ask Carolyn. You ask Carolyn when we hear the words. You ask Carolyn when we're listening to the amateur bands and we hear break break. Everybody else better shut the fuck up because if they don't, shit hits the fan for them later. But they had 30 minutes. They had 30 minutes transmit time from the power from the battery on the radio repeater died. And they were begging for somebody to send them a helicopter of some sort. Here is here is the question. Here's the question: with the number of high rises in New York with landing pads, and the north and south towers had landing pads. They didn't even have to, the helicopters didn't even have to land on the landing pads, hover a foot off of them. How many people could have been saved? How many people could have been saved? And no, well, they locked down the airspace at the wrong. They they locked down the airspace at the wrong fucking time because they should have allowed 100-meter airspace allocation around the towers. Yeah. Oh, you're singing choir here, sing into it. Okay. Yeah. Yep. As somebody, as somebody who watched, as somebody who got to watch and got to smell and got to remember Bosnia choir here. Yep. It was even it was even worse on us. It was worse. It was worse on us who were on recovery, who had blue helmets over us, and we had blue helmets over us. So yeah, welcome to it. Stand by one. I'll be right back. Sorry, biological needs occur first before live streams. I had the bio. Okay, I'll put it in gamer terms. But okay, all right. So let's face it. Okay, all right. Let's get into Afghanistan proper. Let's actually break down the last 4 days. Let's let's have that discussion because it military history. Oh no, no. This was the biggest blunder. This was the biggest blunder. Okay, because the one thing we left, we left over. Okay, okay, okay. I looked up the numbers. I looked up the numbers. We left more than one Black Hawk, operational Black Hawk at that. Complete with stop and listen because this is going to send shit chills down down your spine. We left we left 70 operational Blackhawks with guidance computers, order acceptance computers without kill codes available to the Taliban, the Russians, and the Chinese. Where do you think the Taliban's going to get their money now? Because it damn sure isn't going to be us. from China and from Russia. Because why? Because why? They it's gonna be every one of our enemies worldwide. Here is the chilling factor. Here is the chilling factor in all of that. And this should make this will make your ass cheeks clench faster than you walking into a gay bar. I just said that. Yes, I did. Dilly Gaff, if this goes yellow on YouTube, I know you. Your ass cheeks will clench tighter than a diamond. It will turn it. It will take all of 3 seconds for your ass cheeks clench so tight that it would turn a lump of coal into a diamond as soon as you walk into a gay bar. As soon as you realize you walked into a gay bar, your ass cheeks clench tighter than it would take for pressure from Mother Earth to turn a lump of coal into a diamond. Okay. All right. Well, let's get into it. Let's get into it. With the NRAP or whatever they're calling it now system. Okay. NRAP is what we called it when I was in the Navy. That was the operational system that gave orders to pilots and to aircraft. Period. NRAP. I don't remember how you spelled it, but it was called NRAP. Okay. I think it was ANRAP. But the system name may have changed, but the basics of the system are still the same. Target acquisition, target priority, close air support, long air support, and operational command and control. Okay. That system is now compromised because we left 70 Blackhawks on the fucking ground. All of them flyable operational aircraft. Oh, by the way, guess what taxied? Guess what taxied yesterday? Under Taliban control. It didn't fly, but it taxied. Guess what happened? Guess what it was? It was a fully armed, fully operational Black Hawk. And when I say fully armed, this was a combat close air support Black Hawk. One step below an Apache. Oh, wait a second. We left 80 of those on the fucking ground, fully armed, fully operational. Nobody bothered to set timers on those bitches and blow those to fucking hell. Guess what? They have even more top secret technology on those than the Blackhawks. No, these are combat close air support choppers. Those are the Apaches. The Apaches, we left Apaches fully operational, fully fueled, fully armed for our enemies to take. All they got to do is buy the technology from the Taliban and say, hey, whatever we reverse engineer out of this, you're free to have because, hey, we appreciate our allies. And China's willing to pay that price. Russia's willing to pay that price. Okay, well, you know what? If okay, all right. Number one with a with a Black Hawk or an Apache, with a Black Hawk or an Apache, if it doesn't have the NRAP system in it, it is unflyable. It does not even start up. We're in fucking trouble because of Biden. Beyond what people realize. We don't those systems sin don't have any capability of accessing the nuclear football, thank God. But but they do have access to the majority, 99% of our intelligence, our radars, and other key components of Department of Defense systems, including, oh, wait, destroyer, frigate, submarine, attack submarine, I should say, weapon systems, CIWS, which is the R2D2 with a penis. If you remember that from your days, what ship did you serve on? Yeah. Say the nickname, please. Say the nickname. Oh, the cunt. The cunt. The Connie. The Connie. The cunt. The cunt. Let's just call it what it was. It was a fucking cunt to serve on. Okay, it was a cunt to serve on. It was the Constitution. It was an aircraft carrier. It was an aircraft carrier because you did not serve on the Constitution based in Boston Harbor. You did not serve on the original Ironsides. I'm going to call you out on that one. You served on the aircraft carrier USS Constitution. On the Constitution, you would have been because the Constitution was not nuclear. It ran on GSE technology. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Let shall we play the game? Okay. Joe Biden. Okay, well, let me give you a little bit of background. Let me get it. Okay, okay. They are a minimum. They are a minimum of 3 weeks of getting a one Black Hawk up off the ground by one pilot because he's already taxied the bitch down the length of Bagram Air Base. He has used the weapon systems. He has used the 30 millimeter cannons on that plane, on that helo. I shouldn't call it a plane because it's not a plane. It's a helo. It's not a fixed airwing. But he's utilized the gunnery systems and he's engaged the rocket launchers. So he's smart enough to do that. If he's smart enough to engage the weapon systems and bypass the safeties while he's sitting on the fucking ground, rolling forward under power, he is 3 weeks from airborne. 3 weeks. Now, the hope and prayer is he doesn't understand He doesn't understand the flight systems of a helo and fucking noses straight back down to his fucking death. But my bet is he's going to taxi down Bagram Air Base's runways for 6 to 8 weeks until he gets confident enough to pull that thigh throttle up. And once he does, he's airborne. Guess what? We're fucked. No, it wasn't it wasn't the Pentagon. The Pentagon was begging Biden not to enact this. Here's the thing: how many civilians, how many American civilians did we leave behind before we started pulling out military? Hundreds, hundreds. We just rescued over 100. We just rescued over 100 via Chinook air or via Chinook airlift at midnight. At midnight, Afghanistan time, via Chinook airlift, which required three American Chinook airlift helos. That means a limited combat force to airlift those civilians out of a particular hotel. We still have more than 600 holed up elsewhere. You want to know what infuriates me the most? It's that. And it is that. Okay. And I have friends who espouse the great morality of liberal democracy. Okay. You're not living in a democracy when you leave your military to be shredded by the enemy by your own weapons. That's not democracy. Is it? In fact, I would dare argue. I would dare argue. I would dare argue it's the result of a 1 millimeter penis when fully erect, with testicles the size smaller than acorn nuts, of a president we have now who, loves to sniff little girls' hairs. Do you want me to provide proof of that? Because, hey, there's plenty of memes out there that says, do you feel that? Yes, it's Joe Biden. Just going to put that out there. And Mark Hamill's the star of that one. Oh, okay. Well, did you see the meme of that one? Where it was, where Mark Hamill was saying, "Do you feel that?" And Ray was answering, "Yes." The answer was, "It's Joe Biden." With Joe Biden holding her by her shoulders and sniffing her hair. Oh wait, no, Joe Biden. She's a little old for Joe Biden. She's a little old for Joe Biden. Joe Biden likes them between 7 and 9. I'm going to put that out there because the evidence is out there for it. I would dare say we've elected our first pedophile president. It won't be. No, he's smart enough. No, he's smart enough. He's smart enough to get his jollies elsewhere in other ways. He will not touch a kid where his hands are not visible. He will not touch a child where both of his hands are not visible. I've seen enough of that through the last 40 years. Now, What we don't see is when he's not publicly available. Oh, wait, there are 5 residencies that he has availability to where he can have kids literally delivered directly into his lap. Camp David, his private home, directly into the White House, away from cameras, which he can order. Hunter's home, and his deceased son's home, which he still has ownership of. 5 locations. That should disturb you. That should disturb you. But let's face it. Let's face it. Joe Biden. Joe Biden oversaw the withdrawal from Iraq, and while morally he was doing the right thing, yes, I agree, he was doing the right thing. He went about it the wrong way because pulling all at once, pulling everything all at once, demoralizes the people who would be there, even if they just had an American advisor pulling a trigger alongside them when they entered into a firefight. We did not give that thought. We did not give that thought to Afghanistan. And what happened? The Afghanistan army walked away in droves because they no longer had their American ally support at Bagram. Once that went wildfire through the country, guess what happened? The Afghanistan military who was left in charge of fighting the Taliban folded faster than a deck of bricks at a card table. Okay? Now, yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. I agree. I agree. We fucked up on so many levels. All right, Yazin, I am ending this here. I am Yazin, listen, I am ending this here. This is the end of the live stream. You and I will continue this conversation tomorrow or tonight. Okay. But I wanted to get this out here. Yeah, well, I wanted to get this out here because I wanted to see how I do between live stream and YouTube and everything else. And yeah, I see nobody's put anything in the live chat. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've been joined by Sin, one of my friends from World of Warcraft, who's also a former Navy vet. I am You Wished. I wish you well. I wish you all a great evening and be safe, be blessed. I'm out. Let me see. Let me see. Yes. And